my medication, and I've gone back onto it now, so so I can keep keep an eye on my heart and everything. Otherwise,
Oh, I thought you said that time that Blaine them fixed all your health problems.
who?
Blair and Afitu and Philip
Oh,
and Hone.
no, they Blair Ingram.
Yep.
He works for the DHB in Hamilton. That's when I was down there, and so I shifted. When I shifted back down the east coast, then I had nobody. I had to go back to the doctor down there, and so the doctor in Hamilton, um, they changed all my medication around in the hospital. So I was going to the hospital. Then I had the Manukau health centre there, and they changed my pills again, and it got horribly messy with this one giving this sort of medication and the other one giving other medication, and I ended up coming out of it okay, and then now I'm just back on the doctors that comes from Gisborne down to the East Cape, but now I'm in Whakatane, so I'm in the Whakatane hospital. I went in there because a dog bit me on Christmas Day and jumped on me. Just as well I didn't get ripped to bits, and so that's okay now. Then I ended up back in the hospital with my neck put out because I've been sleeping in front of the computer in the chair, and I got slumped over, and that's what pinched the nerve in the neck, and
Oh, okay.
it's not bad now, but it was stinging pain, and I've got codeine. That's a painkiller for it. That's all they could give really, and I just have to wait for it to go away, and then I'll be back to normal again, and
Okay.
can get on with my work. But it was having a bit of effect on me. Just as well, I'm being looked after by Pare Rivers in Whakatane, and living in a house, not in my caravan. This
Okay.
I started getting sick in the caravan when it rained over Christmas, and
Yes.
I got all wet inside the caravan. The water came in through the winds and the high winds and the rain, and wet my beard. So I had to wait for a fine day to dry it all out. So if I would have carried that on, I would have got sick. I went home to stay at home on the coast, and then I've got out of there now. I didn't want to be there anymore because of it's it's going to take a long time to try and get a business off the ground there. I wanted to start on the aqua farms and the power project there, but it's still the finance that's stopping me from doing a lot of things, and that's where we're at the moment with Eddie and that money that's supposed to have got me going with the BNZ Bank. So the
But
BNZ Bank, eh?
once you involve lawyers, because you involve lawyers again, when you involve lawyers, you give all your powers. So you ariki, you involve lawyers, they take all your powers, and then you're back to square one.
Yeah, I know that. I know that's what happens when. That's why I set up our own court so I can stay out of the system, and I'm testing them out with Gregory on Te Te Marae. So far, so good, and we can. He's going to enforce the law that we've put together over the years, and I'm at court hearing number 66 now at Waitangi Day. Are you going to go up there at Waitangi Day or not?
No, I don't. I don't go up anymore
Oh,
because the reality is we are ariki. We don't need to go to people like that. And the other thing is that 45 minutes they've put and you know how important 45 degrees is.
yeah,
So 45 minutes they've put Waitangi on Chatham Islands ahead of this Waitangi.
yeah, yeah,
So really this Waitangi is just a show.
yeah, that's what it looks like now, and I've been tracking them down, tracking them with the Freemasons have got control. They've got new title to New Zealand now. The Scots have got three regions. The northern region, they've gone back to the original native title. That's the Parliament in Scotland and the Parliament in New Zealand are working together to as agents for the British Crown to give them all their parliamentary statute laws and acts, and that's where they have the Scotland has gone with New Zealand and put their laws together. That's 2023, and Westminster Parliament said to Scotland, you can't use your laws, because they said Westminster has the sovereignty over all devolved countries like Scotland that they've gone independent now. They've pulled out their money from the Crown and gone. There's only three legs on the British corporation business now. So Scotland's still there. They can't leave. The Westminster won't leave them. Let them leave the UK and go on their own. And Scotland still wants their independence, but Westminster won't give it. They've put sanctions on their fisheries and on their trade, and Scotland is still wants their independence. So I'm watching what they're doing with Paul Golding, and I've been in touch with him for a while now, and he's a Scot. He's living in London, and he's working with those against the Muslims and the immigrants in Ireland. So all his attention has been in Ireland. So he's been whacked around and actually thrown in jail and all sorts of things. But he's the leader of the Britain First Party, and so he's gone with him with what we're doing here as independent, like native, and I'm going to let him use our flag for Scotland and use it on everybody else that's a corporate. They don't have a land flag, they're all in the sea, and so this is what I'm using. The Confederation of the United Tribes in Helensville, that's where they made the money, and the Scottish Freemasons there, and I've been with them for a long time, the Freemasons and Moai Manukau. They put the land titles together there, and Scotland, Freemasons, what you call it, constitution is they own all the land that's in between the survey pegs of every country in the world. So there, that's the way I see it. So I'm saying to Paul Golding, you're a Scot, so I'll go with you with that flag and bowl them all out of the way legally with this flag, and they're all in the sea, and they can't contest what I'm doing in the 237 pages now on the book. I think that's about all I needed, but I'm splitting out how a Freemason's brain works. See, I put it in green font so that Gregory and yourself can see. That's what I've picked out, how their brain is putting today's commercial contract world together in this forward age of how the Crown still operates in Britain, and New Zealand has got their own private Crown corporation. That's Cindy Kiro. She's got her own corporate company, Crown Sovereign of New Zealand, and she's got her own crown on her own flag, and they are allowed to. Scotland and New Zealand created the Acts of Parliaments that ministers of the government of that country can legally run their own business in their own name and their own company without being affected. That's the Scottish Freemasons law over Westminster's law. So they are running the whole world. The Freemasons.
I know.
Yeah, they are.
I told you that Loch Ness. I told you about Loch Ness. We what you must remember is we are at the top, we are the crown. So they run the business so that we get the profits.
Yeah, so that's, I'm reading between the lines of how Westminster crown, the big crown, that's the big crown. So Scotland is a smaller crown that's subject to the big daddy crown, and that's
So
why.
you are the daddy crown.
Yeah, so
They
that's
are
what
the
I'm.
mother crown.
Yeah, so
You
what
are
I'm.
right at the top.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is cash somebody's head in first, and that's what I'm looking for. And in Scotland, to use Scotland's power of the Freemasons that put the land titles together for Westminster, they're contracting to the land laws of England and Wales, but Scotland separated itself. It can go independent. We're already independent here in New Zealand, but we're not using our Declaration of Independence flag to do work for ourselves, because Cindy's got her flag over New Zealand as the owner, the legal owner of New Zealand, and she's got the American government, the federal government, and Trump is a Scot too. So he's going to get behind what Scotland is doing to get his real estate business up and running for his pocket. And that I'm saying, if he can do that in America with the biggest military and the biggest trading company in the world, then what are we doing with the same power or more than Trump, which he's got a lot of stick now because he's using the Freemasons' law separate to Westminster's law, and he's Washington D.C. still a corporation of the big crown in Westminster over the top of them because they don't have a federal government. We're supposed to be the federal government for England, and England's soil land, and Britain, their business in Westminster, is still on England's soil sovereign land, but they're still operating their corporate business and bossing everybody around. So they are our partners in Westminster, ran away from us, which makes them a double default now, and so that leaves us to run the whole of Britain with Paul Golding, the Scottish leader for the Britain First Party, and so I'm gone along with him to share in the spoils of debt recovery money that we're going to put somebody in jail right now from the 1st of January. That's what I wanted the book to start business from the 1st of January 2025. That's why I hurried up to finish it in 2024, but it's ready to go signed up at Waitangi Te Moai in front of the Popo, that's Taurangatira, and the 13 chiefs, not 54 chiefs, 13 chiefs that King William gave the flag to as a confederation flag and not a whakaputanga flag. But the government used whakaputanga and whakamininga. They stole it and they're picking up the rent on the land they're not supposed to. So we're jumping in now with you and Gregory. Gregory knows his place. We're putting ourselves right in place to start business on the 1st of January. And that's what I'm saying to you, that we don't need to go to lawyers because we're competing on our own 2 feet and they can't have information that looks like ours. And in that book with all those seals and all those documents that I've got there, no one's refuting it, so it must be right. So now there's no reason why we can't liquidate any company, like you being an accountant and accounting for balancing the books. Our book has got nothing in it at the moment. We haven't got a set of accounts for the last 3 years or 10 years. We only got forward projections over 17 trillion that's there, that's been stolen from one company, that's the registered company here, and we're making a new company, the Moai Crown King George IV Trust, that's one, and the one we're using today for New Zealand only is Moai Crown King William IV Trust. That versus the Waitangi National Trust is a big deal. That's where we are at the moment, to liquidate them because they've got a false crown running their corporate private business, as they can do what they like as ministers with their own company and their directors of their own company, and they've got shareholders in their companies that Gregory Cook has got them all out now, and he said they should never be running their own private business and they're there as servants, like you say, for us, but they are really running their own business and pocketing the money that we're supposed to have. So that, I'm just saying we need to start liquidating and foreclosing and bankrupting companies. I'm ready to go to do it because I've got everything ready to go. It was you, and Gregory is ready to go and seize property right now, but he's going to wait till he gets all his men in place. I've got to get a budget for him and the police as well to see that nobody will do anything for nothing. So that's what I'm saying. I was going to ring the solicitor in Edinburgh, that Adams and Co. company, and talk to the solicitor, see if she's the solicitor for Webley's bank, and if we can get a loan from the Webley's bank with her transferring the equity assets from Eddie over to Ngā Tuewa Aote Limited. That's the creditor from Eddie the debtor. That's where I'm at with you, and whoever's got the money in Scotland or in Edinburgh, that bank that gave it to Eddie, I'm sure it's not the Royal Bank of Scotland, it'll be the Bank of Scotland, the oldest bank in the world, that's given him the money, and they're not supposed to give it to him, so that's still an ethical problem with the bank, and an ethical problem with the Freemason that went with his barrister to go and check if my contract was real, and when they saw it was worth 17 trillion out of a possible 1,000 trillion or more, then they picked up and tried it out. That's what Eddie did. He tried it out and picked a little bit of it, and he got the money out, so it proves that we're on track, or I am on track, to get that back right ahead. But I've got all the videos of me and the money laundering companies in Singapore, in Australia, in London that turned me down. So I went through a lot and videoed the whole thing. And it's on my website. It's right in front of everybody where they have turned me down and covering up Eddie. So he's been covered up all corporations in the world. He's the richest man in the world, is Eddie. He's got more than the royal family. He's got more than Larry Fink and BlackRock. He's got more than any bank in the world, and still going to pick up 38 trillion from the profit of 17 trillion next year, 12 months later. So I know how his brain works because I spent a lot of time with him and Alfred, and they plucked my brain for what I know and ran off with it, you see? So there, I want it all back. So if you found where the money is, then I need to know that so that I can put it back and get it transferred. I can do all the legal work, no problem. I can do all the real estate, and transferring land and all that, that's not a problem for me because that's my trade, is bank mortgage broking. I know how to do it. And so that's what I'm letting you know, that where do we go from today, and with how you found where the money is. That's what I really wanted to know, how we're going to go from what you've discovered in Edinburgh, because I knew it was there. I just didn't have the money there to go and do it. My secretary there was, what's her name, Little Gordon, Jackie Little Gordon. She's up in up just from Edinburgh, um, um, the court there. She just lives up the road. Her and Andrew Little Gordon. They were working with me in the company I registered in London, Moai Powerhouse Group Limited, and it's still there, but I just have to go and pay the bill to pay to get it up and running again. And I've got the videos with me with the yellow vest people and those people waiting for me at Westminster when I was going there to go and take over the Queen's job, and then they deported me. So that was the end of that. But then I'm back again, and John Patterson got chucked into jail. He's the one, his ancestor created the Bank of England itself, and the pound note, and also the Acts. He put the Acts together, and the mortgages, and the Court of Record. He put all that together. That's what I'm using, and so all I want to do is use those instruments to go and liquidate someone right now. And Eddie, I want to put him in jail right now, and get a debt collector on the go here, someone who's been booted out of the business because he was skullduggery. There's a few of them that I can go. I told Gregory which one to go and see and get him employed, but we just needed the money to pay him or pay anybody. So that's what I'm hooking up with you today with my crew, and they are there sitting waiting for you and Gregory, so we can move together and go as one, and then I've got the money sorted to change over from all the assets of Eddie. He's got all that much in Australia alone. That's all the malls, the big expensive houses, and he got all the same things in New Zealand here, in Queenstown, in Rotorua, and Mount Maunganui, all over the place, using the same mortgage that I'm familiar with him and how he does it, and he puts it in his father's name so that he can spread the wealth right through their family. I know how that works too, because I spent a bit of time with him and Alfred. So now that they've run away with the money, what do? You got any ideas where we go from here?
The first thing I need to tell you is we have no bills, right?
Yeah.
The second thing, we are Arikinui. We are at the top, Te Kotaitanga Circle. The playing ground has been leveled, right?
Yeah.
So nobody is above you. Nobody is above me. Nobody is above anyone. We are all kings and queens, born Ariki, right?
Yeah.
Tam Ariki is a prince or princess, born prince or princess. So all that it means is we have the servants to do our work, right?
Yeah.
The servants in Wellington put up their hands and their faces were in every town, and then they were elected.
Yeah.
So they were elected to serve the kings and the queens. Yep?
Yeah.
So all that other stuff that you told me is important stuff, but that is just them putting up a show for us.
Yeah.
So all we're saying is we know how much Ariki gets paid per week. We go for that.
Yeah.
We know that Ariki has a place of their own, and that's in the Bible written, so we go for that. We know that Ariki has hotels, so we go for that. We know that Ariki has businesses, so we have the treasury to run our businesses, and the accountants of IR and IRS to do the accounting, and they have to report to the king. Yep.
Yeah.
All those things. So what I'm saying is, you've seen how people had taken what you say you've put together and they ran away with it. What I'm saying is, why don't we focus on the fact that we are at the top?
Yeah.
We are the head and not the tail,
Mm-hmm.
because otherwise all we'll be doing is the tail is wagging, or yeah, they are the head and they are wagging us. So we turn it the other way, the right side up. Yep.
Yeah.
So we are the head and they are the tail. Now I've done that, and then they said, we'll beam you up, Scotty. So I'm just waiting. I've put everybody's names in,
Okay.
and I haven't been waiting, sitting on my ass, because
Mm-hmm.
you've seen how much work I've done.
Yeah.
I've sent in 6 since we've last spoken.
Yeah.
And so I'll just keep going my way, because the way that I've got is the Wairua way
Yeah.
that showed how the Freemasons operate. So everything's written in the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been very open about it. It's there. All we have to do is turn it right side up.
Yeah. So.
Once we've got the right side up, so
Mm-hmm.
we at the top, and they, so in the Pacific, we've got something where we say, um, so the house is ours, right? So
Mm-hmm.
house, and then we have, so this is what you say in the house, in the Pacific, house Mary below you. In other words, your servant that is below you, under your feet. Yep.
Yeah.
So they have to serve you. Can you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now in New Zealand it's not so apparent, but the rest of the Pacific, when you go there, you will see how they treat the house very below you.
Yeah.
Yep. So they've written it everywhere. They've done it everywhere. We just have to open our eyes and we can see. So really, I've lifted my ass and had a look.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere. It's written. So I suggest what you do is go and look at Revelation 22, right?
Yeah.
Because the Dutchy word for revelation is open the barring.
Yeah.
Yep. So I've told them that, and then they said we are in, and so the circle has been mended. Yep.
Yeah.
So when you look at open barring, which is Revelation, the last book in the Bible,
Yeah.
look at the last chapter, which is 22, and you know how important 22 is. So you look at 22 and read those 7 verses. So there is a river of living waters, right?
Yeah.
So you know, for water to be living and to run, there has to be a current, right?
Yeah.
Or there has to be currencies.
Yeah.
So all the currencies we've claimed, and then beside the river are 2 banks.
Yeah.
Yep. Beside the banks are the tree of life. The tree of life has got 12 branches. So all those Scottish, Irish, English, all those things you've just spoken to me about, 12 branches. So that's the 12 tribes of Israel that's got to serve you, because you're number 13. Remember, 13 is an important number.
Yeah.
So then, because of the treason that's happened, every tribe has to serve you every month, one of the 12 tribes. Can you see that?
No, I'm not
Because,
really into the Bible, but
yeah, but
I'm spiritual.
Freemasons,
I'm
the Freemasons wrote everything in the Bible.
yeah.
So
So
whether you into it or not,
yeah.
I was forced by the Wairua to go and have a look. I was like you
Yeah.
and said I didn't want to have anything. And the Wairua said, well, everything's written there. You have to go and look. So I had to go and have a look.
Yeah. So that's all right, because it's going to take me a long time to learn all of that. My brain
You
is
don't. You
jammed up
don't.
with everything else.
It's 7 verses.
Yeah.
That's
But
all it is. It's
yeah.
the last book in the Bible, the
Yeah.
last chapter, and it has 7 verses. Well, you just need to look at 7,
Yeah.
because there's 12 fruits. If 1 fruit for every month, so different fruit, right?
Yeah.
And the leaves of the trees which is the elders in every town, are for healing of the nations. So that we have to then, because remember, they wrote everything down. You know that.
Yeah.
But they wrote it in code. Yep.
Yeah. That's
so that
yeah.
only they can understand. So
Yeah.
when you work in the Wairua opens it and shows you. So all I'm saying to you is that's already there. It's done. They've said so I said, will the circle gone broken? So they came back to say that they've mended the circle.
Yeah.
We are at the top. We're number 13. And so they are our public servants that work for us. And the treasury now belongs to us. Yep.
Yeah. So
And
that's
they are the accountants for the treasury.
yeah.
Yep.
So how do we, like my daughters are back here from England, and I'm saying to them, I didn't get what I wanted because the BNZ let me down, and they still don't believe what I'm doing. I don't like anybody that in my family that says that to me after all the years I put behind everything I know is a lot like yourself, but I've gone further. I've gone around the world where the Scots have got their finger in every other country too. Not only here, I'm doing the whole world, and I'm starting here, then go to England, fix that one, then go to the next country, and next country, fix them all up, because that's what I went to England for, to take my own wairua from Easter Island. I've got it in me, I was born with it, and that's what I'm using, my own. Why did Queen Elizabeth steal my Moai? Why did Queen Victoria, the church, steal my Moai and take it to England? Why did they do that? I don't do that. So I want it back. I want all the money back that they're using, the Queen Victoria Trust, that used my memorial for her documents. I'm a document man. I do the law on their documents. That's why I'm reading word for word the Scottish brains, and I've got Scottish brain in me too. I can do what they do even better than them, because I'm looking at who's got the money. The church has got the money. Who's killing the children? The Catholics are. The church is killing the little children, and I want to go there and help them. And instead of the Catholic Church, look what it's done. It's stolen all the money. It's stolen everybody's memorials from their country, and Israel is killing those Palestine. I want to go to Palestine and throw all that money and get their country back off Israel. They are using this king's corporation mortgage title to get all that money to buy everything and arms and everything. That's what's wrong with Trump. He's supporting killers. I don't like people who kill people for money from what I'm doing. And Admiral and Gregory is an admiral of the mortgage. I do mortgage of kings. The king did the mortgage to get that money. And now they got crypto creeping in, another real bad thing going on. And that's why my site is full of crypto and what they're doing to people. They are still making things worse for people's lives, are miserable because of the churches. I don't like churches. I'm in the Church of England, and where's England gone? The Church of England is being thrown out in Westminster, and the Muslims have moved in. They have control of the magistrate court. I know everything how courts work. I want to make the court accountable for law of doing this to people. And Israel is the worst in the world, that they're going to get flattened right out by people who watch them kill children. That's what I don't like about the 12 tribes of Israel. I don't like them. I don't like them because they made the church look bad, and now the corporation, the City of London, is disappeared like thin air, and the Vatican City Corporation has disappeared with the money they stole off me and the kings. Our kings put it together, not the Queen. They were under the Queen's monarch, and they faked everything. Everything's a fake. And I'm there real.
I agree with you. Everything's a fake. So when you see it and read it.
I want the money back. I want what they stole from me. I want my memorials back. I want everybody's native country's memorial back. And those white men stole it all off the black people. And Jesus is a black man, not a white man.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. All I'm saying to you is, there is, if you are at the top, and remember this, when you talk about the church, remember the church is a ministry, right?
It's a ministry, yes.
So you get your money, your weekly, the crumbs they're giving you getting it from a ministry.
Yeah.
Ministry of Social Development.
So where did they get their money from? They got it from the Church of England on my land at the East Cape, where the birth certificates were put together with me and Rapataka on our land. They did it in the Church of England right there. Now the Catholics have got it. Where's my Church of England? They've thrown it away and put mosques up. That's what happened with the Catholic Church. They did all that. They put the Muslims in there. The Queen did that. She changed all the monarchs' laws in Westminster, and I want to change them all back where they were, in the Church of England, and throw everybody out. That's what Trump is doing, throwing all those immigrants out because they're killing people. I don't like people killing people.
John.
I want my money back.
Remember you said to me it's all a play, right?
Yeah, that's right. They are actors. Like, that's what acts are, for actors. Right. The black and white minstrels, actors. They're only actors. And I saw that fella, what's his name? I watched all that fella that does all that sort of thing, the river and all that sort of thing. I've watched all his videos. That fella, what's his name?
So if it's all an act, and I agree with you, then listen to this clearly. You have the Trump card. Can you hear that word?
Yeah, but I want to start getting things back with it. I want to use the power of that flag up at Waitangi. That's what's ruined the whole world. That flag is in the wrong hands. And everybody's asleep on it. I'm putting that flag where it should be to get us out of trouble. We're in a lot of trouble with the law of that flag. That's the one that's making all the money. That flag. They gave it to Maori because they knew Maori wouldn't have a brain in the head to figure it out. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a flag on the land and not in the sea. Everybody else's flag, including Trump's, including Israel, all their flags are in the sea. I'm taking them out with the land flag. That flag. I've been trying to tell them all these years, this is the power of this flag. Yeah, the flag. I want the money back. I want the land back. I want all the memorials back in their own native people ownership. I'm there for the native people that were born together, not just one tribe, the whole lot. Everybody is the same. That's how I treat people. They were born on God's land.
You are right. Everybody's the same. So what I'm saying to you is, you are right at the top, because, and I just want to give you, well, you've got it already, the Trump card. Remember, they playing a play in front of you.
Yeah, I know.
So the Trump card is L, and L is God, which is you.
Yeah.
Yeah? You are it. Each one of us are. And they are God's servants. They have to do God's work.
Yeah, so...
Can you see that?
Yeah, I know.
So we turn it right side up.
Yeah.
Because what they've done is trampled on us and put us under their feet. But when we joined the circle now, well, we opened the circle, and they have to come to us now, and they've done it, and then close that circle, and now they have to start, what do we call it? They have to start paying up, yeah?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, all that anger and things, all that's going to do to you is going to get you under the ground. I'm peaceful, like you are peaceful. We come in peace, and I've done it peacefully. And I told the servants to get their freaking ass together and to lift their asses and do the work. And they have. So all I'm saying to you is we have to hang in there. Don't you get upset. Don't make your health suffer because you're going to die and they're going to carry on. Can you see what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
know
you
that.
calm down and you look after John because it's no good getting the money and you under the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what I want to do is give it back to the people. I
Of
don't need
course,
it. I don't
that's
need
what
it.
I'm.
So
That's what I'm about.
why is Eddie enjoying life and I'm not? Because he's got all that money that don't belong to him. I worked
So
hard
what?
for that, 50 years to get that. He's just come along and said, "Oh, I'm going to help myself to it." So I want him behind bars right now, this minute. I want to go and get him, and I'll go and get him myself if I had Gregory with me. We're going to get him and put him in jail. What's wrong with the public sheriff of our own to go and arrest anybody we want to? That's what I want to do.
John,
I want to start putting them in prison. That's what I'm raw. I'm raw because I'm feeling the pain of everybody suffering, and while somebody else is having a good time right in front of us on our own land because they run the parliament. Parliament makes the law. And no one's listening to me. No one ever did until we go to the High Court in London. I went there and set it all up in the Rolls building, the biggest court in the world. I went there and set it all up. Now, if I had the money, I'd chuck Eddie straight in there and win. I'm out to win, not to lose. I want to go and put him in jail and then go and get someone to transfer everything over to me and the people. You see, that's all I want to do. That's why I was asking you. Where's the money? Which bank? I have to go and find it myself. Well, that's what I was going to Scotland with Jackie Little Gordon. She was my secretary. And I told them, go and have a look at the titles. If they would have listened to me, they would have gone and found it. But they didn't because they're too frightened of the government. Everybody's frightened of the government.
I found it.
Yeah, you found it. Yeah.
You have heard the word treason, right?
Yeah.
Listen to that word. Treason.
Yeah.
S-O-N at the end, right?
Yeah.
Then look at the word treasury, right?
Yeah.
It's two letters different from treason and treasury. So the treasury belongs to us because they committed treason. You get that?
Yeah, they've committed lots of things, espionage and all the things.
Yeah, so what we do it because you know the best wars are won peacefully. If you're going to get uptight, you're going to get upset, your high blood pressure rises, your heart carries on. Before you know it, you are sick and they are laughing.
So I better to give everything over to them, give the book to them and say, you go for it because I don't need it. I can walk off now and leave it all to everybody who's pinched it. I don't like people who steal, and especially steal memorials that belong to the tribe when they steal something.
I agree with you. What I'm saying to you is there is a more excellent way to do it. And you know the best wars are won in peace, right? Think of it. How did they come and get the Moai? They didn't come with arms blazing and rocket guns. They just quietly came, spoke to the people, la la la, buttered them up, and then they took the Moai, right?
Yeah.
That's how they did it. So I'm saying to you, we can do it better because there is something about a brown face because you know we all come from the sand, you know that. And so what we can do is strategy. Yep.
That's
They
what I'm.
don't have
That's what I'm here
strategy.
for, is to strategize our
Yeah, but
position.
when you get excited and all of that, it's not good for your health. So, what I'm saying to you, we have the best strategies. So, let's use those strategies, right? And let them dig their own grave and fall into it. Yeah?
Yeah,
So, we don't dig their grave for them because else we're going to be finished by the end of the day. Let them dig.
yeah, but
So, we use all the tools we have.
I,
We
I,
have all that knowledge, and so we utilize it for our good, not for their
yeah.
good.
So what what I'm saying is this: I fight the law with the law. You see, because Rogan, the judge that put all the land together, titles, he's a Freemason and he's my family. The judge and the lawyers are the Cosgroves of Ireland and the Scott of Scotland. The Rogan. I've got it in me. I was born with them. And now I'm trying to make sense out of it by cashing somebody's head in. And that's what I'm going to do. Whether I get sick or not, I will still do it with or without anybody because I'm determined. I'm just like Trump or anybody else that Musk and all those people that want to get to the top. They went on their own.
You are above them
Yeah, I know,
because
but
you
I'm,
are L.
I'm, I'm,
L is God. So
I'm,
you
I'm,
are
I'm
above them. So don't lower yourself.
no, I'm just being realistic. I can't do anything on a pension. I'm running all this on a pension. It's just not enough for where I want to go. I want to do everything in my lifetime to set it up for the next generation. That's all.
And I get that. All I'm saying to you is do it, do it in peace and calm down because the most important thing is that you also look after your health while you do it, right?
Yeah, but it's
You
running out of
can't
time.
put
I'll
your
be
health
dead before long, waiting. I'm not going to wait anymore. It's how long is your plan is going to take? Mine starts on the 1st of January. It starts arresting people like Eddie. I want to get him and put him into the High Court and win. I'm there to win, not to lose. Because that's how everybody else successful do. They take somebody into the court and let the court do the problem. And the
and you
judges,
think
that
I've been sitting on my laurels all this time.
yeah, but one of us is going to make it work for all of us. And it's you or me.
Exactly.
You've got the answer.
Exactly.
You've got the money. You've got the brains. You've got the land titles. You've got everything. Because I've got something. You've got something. Everybody else has got something to contribute. Where is the organisation? Where is the administration and the setup? There's no whakaminenga. There's nothing. I'm on my
No,
own, running,
we
running as if I had one.
we don't because remember what's that word? Fuckamininga. You know what fuck means, right? You know what it means. That's how they fuck us over. Yep.
Yeah,
So
but
that's why I don't play in those people's
yeah,
sandpit.
but I've let
You are at the top.
I've
You
let
are
all
not
that go. I've been wasting all these years up there, going to the whakaminenga every year. I've been involved with it and to build it all up. And now I've got two chiefs left out of the whole lot of them listening to me and signed the documents. Nobody else signed it.
Is that Fitu and Philip?
No, they're right out of it. They kicked me off their land. They've been kicked in the head by the people I wanted to help. Those two only wanted me to do their land titles for Tokanui, the mental home, and get all those properties back from the Crown, the government, and they said one of them is mine, a house for me. They said, I've got a house for you, and they put me in a caravan, a beaten up caravan, and that's all I got from them. So I turned around and went up north. I went back up there. I've spent most of my time up there trying to educate people. I've spent years trying to educate people how the system works, how everything works. I gave the information away for free. all my time with information, good, solid information in that book. When you read, there's everything in that book. You know why? Because I've figured it out. I've figured it out. Who is the master brain? The master brain is a Scot, an Irish, and myself.
But you are at the top.
Yeah, but that's
the master brain.
Being at the top is one thing. How the bloody hell do I make the money out of what I'm supposed to be at the top? Who's got the money? The ones at the level of money. I don't have money on my brain, but now I am. I'm in the money game now because something made me go and do it. I never thought like that before. Now, Eddie just told me this is how you crook people, how to get money out of everybody, to be a perfect pirate. If someone's got the money, just go and get it. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to everybody that knows how it works. He's got a brain to make real estate. I'm going to take it all off him because he's got my instruments. I put all that together. Years and years and years of writing. I've written all what he's got. And I'm worth 17 trillion. That's what I'm worth. And plus. On top of it, that's just me bragging away because everybody brags when they got money and what's the bling and everything. They brag because they know it took them a long time to get it. Now, it's my turn. Before I die, I'm going to get it all back. What's been stolen from my brain? A Scot brain, an Irish brain, and a Maori brain. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, in my time, I would rather be happy and die happy than to die with nothing.
Yep. And all I'm saying, if you get all that money and you're dead, it's really worth nothing to you.
Yeah, so but I want to.
So look after your health.
But.
And so remember, health and wealth goes together.
Yeah, but I need that money to buy the best medicines instead of all this crappy pills I take every day. I've got heaps of them, and that's what's making me crook. The pills. You see, it's the pills. And I know that, but it does the job better than nothing. But then I'm looking at where to go from today. I'm saying to you, I'm starting on the 1st. Gregory's starting on the 1st. When are you going to start getting things going? How long I have to wait for you? I'm ready to go.
So
I'm ready to operate.
Really, what you're saying is I've been sitting on my laurels. I've done nothing for all this time, and I've just here. So what I want you to know is Rome wasn't built in a day. I started a year and a half ago. You started way before that. You don't have the end result yet. And now you are jumping on me. I'm not your enemy. We are working together.
Yeah, but I've got a website. Everybody in the world is watching what I do because I tell them how to do it and show them on my website. Where's your website? Where's your administration? I've got an administration. I'm like everybody that's making money, a corporate. Where's your corporate? You have to be a corporate, otherwise they can't see you. If you haven't got a corporate business, a registered business, how can you talk to someone who's corporate running rampant over you and they use their law? You can't use your law to go above their law of money. Money is the ruler at the moment. As far as I can see, money rules over any spiritual law. And I'm very spiritual in my heart, but I don't put that ahead of everything now. It's the money that's ruining everything. And that's what I'm saying. I'm going to find out how the money works, then I'll give it to the spiritual people, the ones with nothing. I don't need it. I don't need money where I'm going, but I'm going to sure have a go at it. I'm going to have a go at before I drop dead and have a good reason to die peacefully and happily when I see somebody else instead of Eddie that's taken all that money and having a good time and laughing at me. He's laughing at me and laughing at everybody that's not as clever as him. I want to make him look fucking dumb. See, I'm mad because of that. Someone has stolen something from me, my intelligence. You see, I've been compromised by that alone. And I've got Mohi Manukau's skills in me with the Freemasons. I've got all the Freemasons in me. I was given it. I was charged with the Freemasons. That's why no one touches anything I do. If you got your photo in my Brahman court, you can't get away with it. Anybody can't do nothing about it because someone's looking after me. I don't think it's God either. I think it's a Freemason. The one with the money. The one that got the pegs in the ground that says they own all the land between the pegs. They're everywhere in the world. The Scots own the land. If you look at what I'm reading, that's what they say. That's a Scot for you. And I'm a Scot too.
Yep.
See? So I'm saying I'll have a bit of that, a bit of that, a bit of that, and see how far I can get with it. See, if you're there, you're Scot, you're Dutch, but where is the evidence? I've got all the evidence there. Everybody reads it. And I don't mind them reading what I'm saying because that's coming from my head straight into everybody else's head.
Yep.
See? So I've got nothing to hide. I've got nothing to keep and just keep it to myself. I let everybody know what the Freemasons do. That's what they said to Mohi Manukau. If you tell anybody, well, get a silver bullet in your head. And I'm waiting for a silver bullet because I told everybody what Mohi told me as a Freemason. I told everybody how the Freemasons work. And that's what I'm doing right now, waiting for a bullet. I'm waiting for a bullet. I don't care if I die tomorrow with a bullet in my head for doing something good for mankind. See, that's why I'm not afraid of anybody because I've got the man up there. He's looking after me too. And Pare's looking after me too. There are people looking after me while I keep going. Whether I'm sick or not, I'll still do my best. I want to please people who are suffering the same as I am. And yet I want someone in the organisation like us. I'm looking for people I can trust to join this organisation to let everybody know how we think to take us into the next generation. Yeah, that's me. I'm just being normal. When I get upset, it's because of the things that I've been kicked around in the face. And looking at Jordan Maxwell, he's the one that talks about admiralty. And I've watched every one of these movies, these videos, and he's talking about what you're saying. I learned a lot from that man and a few others. And that's all in my head. It's hard to get rid of it. I'm trying to put new information in my head of technology and all that sort of stuff. There's just too much. And I've got to discard some of the good stuff and put something else in there, in my head. You see? So that's what I wanted to see, how we're going, what's our next move?
I'll keep working.
Yeah.
I have told them in no uncertain terms that the first of, well, even before then, that we have a brand new world and that everything is turned right side up, that they are the servants and they have to serve the king, yep, and we are the kings and the queens, yep, Ariki, forever. So the same way that they came to pull everything from under us, we do the same and we pull everything from under them.
Yeah, so I need it in writing. That's why I write all the time, your stories, and stick them online so everybody knows what I'm thinking. Today I'm thinking about you, what you do, where we go from here, so my crew can get confidence in what we're doing, and the public gets confidence in what I'm doing because I'm transparent and I let everybody know and see what they're going to do about it. See, I'm waiting for action. I'm waiting for action from what we're doing and to try and make a start this year with the right foot forward. I can talk kings all day, said enough about it, so I don't need to talk about that. I want to talk about people and their lives and who's going to survive from being shot to pieces by Israel, of all people in the world. That's ruining people's lives. And Trump supports them doing that. And I don't like people dying at the hands of somebody else who's got all this mortgage money. It's the mortgage money that's making me upset. I'm a mortgage broker in a bank. I can go and do a lot of things that I've learned, and I want to see something come out of it from what we're talking about. Because there are a lot of people watching what I do because they want to see me either collapse or succeed, one or the other. If I collapse, it's because nobody wants me, and what's the use of being around if nobody wants me? They won't tell me.
No, you have to look. Remember, wealth and health goes together. So when you get worked up, they enjoy it. So all I'm saying, just keep your wealth and health together. When you keep those two together, you're laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, but I don't need. I'm going to start the bank, the Moai Powerhouse Bank. I've been saying that for years. Now Eddie's got
That's
the money.
fine.
I need that money back in that bank. I need, and you
That's
know where
right.
it is. Why don't you tell me where it is? So I know where to go. Save me going through all the trouble to go and find which bank it's in. I picked the Weberly's Bank, and I'm ready to talk to them today, because if you don't tell me, I will find out. I need you to tell me which bank has got that 17 trillion to save myself a lot of trouble.
Okay, let me tell you which bank. The Moai Bank. You are the head of that bank.
Yes, so I want to. I
You
want to.
are it.
I want to
We
make
just
it function with us, you, me, and the people I trust. There's very few people that I trust. You're one of them. And the ones I've got, out of everybody in this country, the ones that signed the document on the 6th of December, I trust them because that's why they signed. The rest of them, mainly the women, didn't sign because they are running the marae. The woman are. It's supposed to be the man. The woman is back to front.
no, you're right. The women, look, you are at the head, right? Who does the work? The woman does the work at the bottom. So because you've turned it the right side up. Yep.
Yeah, so I want.
Remember, house Mary below you. So they have to do the work. Yep.
Yeah, so the woman is supposed to look after the marae and the people, and the man's supposed to go to work. It's the other way around. The women are going to work and coming back and kick the man out of the way. And that's what I see on maraes. The women are running it. And the government just encourages the woman to take charge of everything and leave the man with no father in the house. That's what's the wrong, is no father figure, no role model father. That's what I feel, because I've got Filipino little kids, and my kids don't like that. They don't like they despise me getting some other little kids because I miss having little kids around. You see, I've been helping them with my pension. And the very little I give to them is enough to get them from all their country's rich and gold and everything, but the same people like Eddie is picking up all their money. You've got to stop one, get him, you get the whole lot, one shot. I want to get him strung up in prison. That's where he should be, in prison. Him, just one. Get one, you'll get all the corporates in the world. That's what I need. Just bang one out, and you've got half the battle done. And then I can go and buy some medication. Good stuff, rongo. Good stuff, rongo for me, instead of all these pills. You see, it's the wealth that I'm not enjoying having it given away. I give it away to everybody who needs it. Not one man that goes and buys flashy things. See, that's
So
what
how did Eddie get it? Did you give him?
No, I told him to. He said, "Oh, he'll check the title I've got of the Te Rawakato Wharehere Manukau, and go and check in Scotland to see if it's real. The lease of this country, when I get the lease of this country, 201 years, I get the lease for every other country in the world that's got more than what we got. And it just fires off everybody's native title and their money back to them. That's what I'm doing. The whole lot of them. The world, 257 countries that are native, that the Crown in Britain has taken all their wealth and stuck it in their pocket. And that's what the corporates do. The corporates are running on King William III's mortgage memorials and Bank of England Act and the Pound Note Act. See, they're going on the money and the land title. And that's what I've got in my brain. I can't get rid of it because I sleep on it, wake up it, and that's what makes me upset. Somebody else is picking up the lease and putting it in their pocket. Yeah, that's what I'm so upset about, is someone is creaming off everything that belongs to everybody else. And then I want to get him strung up and it'll all break down in the corporate system. Because get him, you get the whole lot.
Yep.
That's all I want to do. Get one, and it happens to be a Maori, and get him because John Tamahere is doing the same thing with the Waipirata Trust. He's doing it. He's got a $4 million mansion, and he's doing the same thing. They can run their own private business as a director and shareholding, and they are supposed to be servants, not running their own conflict of interest business. And that's what they've gone and legislated themselves to be able to do that with this New Zealand Act and the Scottish Act. It allows them to do that. Not Westminster. Westminster doesn't make those acts. This country does, and Scotland. Because that's how commerce works. Commerce. I wish I can teach my little kids how it works. That's why I got those little kids, so I can spend a lot of time with them and lots of other little kids. And teach them how the new world should be. Not the new world order that's there going to make everybody subject to one law for all.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's really what I wanted. I wanted to see where we go together, separately like we are. We're independent of each other, and I've got 4 people with me in my group that are passionate about what we're doing together, and they don't know things that they know now. They're
so
getting
what happened to Hone and Blair and Afitu? They were very supportive of what you were doing.
They are still there. I can change my mind anytime. They just need to ring me up, and I change pretty quick because they hurt me, and I put all that aside. When you kick me off, they kicked me off Waitangi Marae, Titi Marae. They kicked me off there, and I went back. And you get 1 or 2 apologising, but when you get an apology, it's done the damage. They've damaged me, and that's when you get damaged. It's very hard to go back and forgive somebody. I never forgive people without thinking twice about the years that have gone in the dustbin. All that I spent with them and get their land back, I still haven't got the land back because I just needed to get Cook Street, bang, and the whole world will be following Cook Street. And Gregory is going to, 3rd time lucky, he'll get it this time because I know he's confident of telling the police, you got in the way the last time, not this time. See, it's just an understanding of learning together. Something I know, something he's found out how things work, and the more he knew, the more his confidence is going up. I never used to get on with him because he jumped me and went and thought he might do it his way, but obviously it turned around and he suddenly realised, so I've forgiven him. And that was just him getting some information that is useful for him, and now he's got the whole book. He's religiously looking at what is in that book that will give him every piece of instrument to make his job easier, and he can explain his way to the police. Or the only person stopping him from doing what he's doing is the police. We haven't got the money to pay the police. If I get that money off Eddie, I can pay the police force and the military and everybody to do the job. You see what I mean? Without that money, and I can't do anything. I just wanted to use the equity of that. I know you can do it. I can do it. And use the equity as stolen. If you can prove it's stolen, then borrow against it. And instead of getting the money back, take the properties over, all those properties in Australia, and use that to borrow more money, the bank's money, the Webley's bank money. That's why I'm talking to the lawyer there today, to the solicitor. If she's the solicitor for Webley's bank, it'll be better if the Moai Powerhouse Bank went with the Webley's bank, because they are a private bank. They're separate to the Bank of Scotland, the oldest bank, that I think where the money came from, that gave the wrong bank, gave the money to Eddie, and the Webleys, if with a bit of legal clout, can get it back. That's what I'm saying to you. Now that I'm thinking where the money was given to Eddie from wasn't the Webley Bank, it would have been the Bank of Scotland, the oldest bank in the world, that gave it to him, not the Royal Scottish Bank, because that's tied to Westminster. And the Scottish Bank would keep things to themselves and their own jurisdiction. They don't have the jurisdiction of Westminster, they have their own jurisdiction, whereas the Royal Scottish Bank is Westminster, more so, that has control over that bank. And you know what? JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, has contacted me in email to join him. You see? And there he's saying, join our investment team. So I've got that going quietly, and so I can go and borrow the money from him. And when I borrow the money from Webley, I'll quickly settle the account and go straight into my bank and then give them the interest at 3%. And they can retail it at 5%. And at the moment it's 4.8% or so. And the going rate of the Scottish Bank is 4.8%, something like that. And then I can go down to 3% and sell it to the 2 bar pound note, which is legal, and it's the other 1 bar pound note, the Scottish pound note, is illegal because it never got the royal assent from King William III that created the Bank of England and the pound note. So the 2 bar is the only one that got the royal assent from King William III that is the court of law, court of record. You see, so I've got all those going for us and our bank to get the bank going and to lend the money to all the other banks in the world. So that's just another business I set up with the Moai Powerhouse Bank that can give the money out to everybody, and the crypto too, because my Facebook sites, I've got 80 of them, and I used to go and put everything in their right places and all info, but I just put them in 2 sites and just mix them all up. And if you want something, you have to go right back to 2010 to get something, and it's buried amongst everything until I go and take it out and put it into their right boxes. See, I did that all by myself. Everything, completely everything. The law, the land, the everything. The bank, the lot, because I couldn't trust anybody doing something for me. I couldn't do it myself. If something goes wrong, it's my fault. See, so that's all I want to say to our group is where you stand at the moment, and we're going together as us here in New Zealand, not so much at Waitangi, because if the government's going up there, I'm going up there. If they go there, because we're going to put the notice on them and Gregory and tell them this is where you get told to go. I want to either.
Remember one thing. They they are your servants. So when you go up to Waitangi, if they go up, you tell them to do their job, to
No,
serve.
no, I don't
to
want
be,
them. I don't
to
want
be
them.
house-mary below you.
Yeah,
They are below you.
Yep, I want a fresh lot. I don't want them because they're, they're, they're riddled with corruption. If you're going to get them, they'll just carry on going, and they'll still either retire or carry on going to keep their job. I would keep their job if I got a new contract with them. And if they break the rules like Musk, sack them, fire them. I would fire them like Musk, fire the whole lot. Just like Twitter, fire the whole lot and rehire. That's what I had in mind. When you got that sort of money in the trillions, what I'm talking about, you don't muck around. You get the best person and pay them what they're worth. See, what you're worth, what everybody is working is worth, and they know where they stand because I'm going under Westminster rules. See, I'm using Westminster rules because they are the big crown that's making all the other little crowns jump. Even America goes under the British crown.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can tell our group that we're going to carry on, and I want Gregory and this other debt collector to go and arrest Eddie and stick him in jail and switch the thing. Even if I have to go over to Australia and switch the title over straight away of all those properties. It don't belong to him. I've proven it online. All the videos are there, all everything, and his photos there, and all those people involved in those money laundering places, their photos are there, and they can't get them off. No one can say to me, take that off. I said, no, you're going to court, mate. You're in the court here. You're in a native court. This is a native online court. As long as your photo's there, you've got £1 trillion on your head and more. So someone like John Key, he's got 1,000 trillion on his head, and Jacinda Ardern, she's got 1,000 trillion. You know why I put the high figures up? To bankrupt all the corporations, the big ones like BlackRock and the Rothschilds. You bankrupt them because you've got more than them. I've got a 970 million trillion pound note. I'm going to get it printed in Philippines, and that becomes legal tender. I can use that to mortgage anybody in the world. If they can tell me where'd you get that money from? Where'd you get that figure from? I said, well, show me yours. Because if you don't show me yours, that's it. You can use that as an upper figure and anything between. See, so that's what I'm saying. We needed you to keep an account of what this Moai Powerhouse Bank is going to do. And that's what I'm saying to my little group, that if we got confidence in you, which we have, then you will keep the spiritual side right and also the commercial side right. But I'm talking corporate because that's the only way I know to be corporate is to act like one and have the company to go up against another company. The trust against another trust. The trust is the Scottish law is trust. They've got the trust law. They put it together. You see? So when they put the trust law together, it's higher. That's the one Eddie is hiding under, and I'm going to pull him out under the rug. He can't get away because I know too much. And the lawyers that go to court, they'll use, and I'll quote, that's why I'm numbering all the affidavits and the exhibits of where I get my information from the Scottish Freemasons Acts. They've got their own government. They've got their own government, and they tell Westminster Parliament what to do. Believe it or not, that's how it works. The Scottish and the Irish, all the biggest corporate companies in the world is in Ireland. Why there? And the law is in Scotland. And the Bank of England and the money is in England. See? 3 different places. And we are here in New Zealand as their partners. And where's our partnership gone? They've gone and sold it to the Muslims. And that leaves us on our own to be the crown. That's where the crown comes in, with me and the people around me. until they realise that we do still have a contract with the big Crown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So let me just think through all that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'll get back to you.
Okay, that's all right.
All right.
I can calm
But just
down.
take it. Please calm down.
Yeah.
And just take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
Because your health is very important and your wealth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I've got someone
Alright.
nice looking after me, Pare Rivers.
Awesome.
She's like a mother to me, and she knows how to look after me and vulnerable. Especially when my nerves go rattling. There's
Yep.
always something wrong
Awesome.
when they rattle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
You go well.
Yeah.
See you
All
then.
right. All right,
Okay.
Cecile. Thank you
See
for
ya.
talking.
Bye.
Bye.
All good. Bye.
Bye-bye. Hello. Rapita. Oh, where are you fellas? I haven't stopped the laptop yet. You fellas should be there. Where are you, Paddy? The laptop is still going. There's no Brian, and there's no Rapita, and there's no Paddy, and it's the laptop is still going, and the desktop is going still, and I've got the microphone on, so that should come out all right, and people will hear me getting upset, but who cares? It's because it's got to be told how it is what it is. Okay, so there, it's 28 minutes on the laptop, and it's 1 hour 22 minutes on the desktop, and so with that being said, that was Cecile Hoods, or she's Cecile Thompson as her maiden name, and Scottish and also Dutch origins, and that's why she knows a lot about Scotland and Edinburgh, where the money is that Eddie Mitchell has stolen from me and my company that's registered in New Zealand, and his company, Mitchell Family Trust, is up against the Moai Crown King William IV Trust, one company, and up against Moai Crown King George IV Trust, lease of New Zealand, and so on. Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying to Cecile, is that she's talking a lot of things around the real problem, which is the mortgage and the flag. The flag is a mortgage land to get the money from our country on dry land, take it to England, because they've gone off the sea to every other land and taken the same thing using our land flag on our dry land on every other country. They have a courthouse to take them off the sea into the courthouse on somebody else's sovereign native land and do the same that they did to us. And ours is the model. And that's what I'm saying to Cecile. We're not just New Zealand and the Arikis of the Pacific. We're every native country in the world, 257 to be exact. So I have to go around every native country and do the same thing again very quickly on AI, East State Moai Confederation of Chiefs Government. Okay, that's really how it works. One, get the rest. One corporate, knock one corporate out, you get the rest. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, I'm going to have a cup of tea and a biscuit and switch this off. I got no Brian, I got no Rapata, so I'm really on my own. And Pare is all right. She just leave me to talk and just check up on me to see if I'm going right. But my executive is somewhere busy somewhere else. So either that or their signal is lost and they can watch this video and learn something every time, and everybody else who's going to watch this video. It's not so much about me, it's the principle of the matter. Who is going to kick it into life and start making something work for ourselves? That's Gregory, Cecile, Rapata, Carr, Buddy Rivers, and Brian Workman, and myself, John Wannell. So there, that's our little group. that's gonna kick things into life, and one does one job, the other does the other. You can hear it, and I'm saying I'm blunt. I'm blunt to the point of things that make money. Okay, I'm after the things that make money. The law and the flag. Okay, the Confederation of Chiefs of Aotearoa New Zealand tribes here in New Zealand, that makes the money. Okay, and that goes straight to the British Crown and into their pocket. Okay, so that's all for now. I'll switch this off. It's 1 hour 25 minutes and 55 seconds on the desktop. I'll end the video there and hope the sound comes out, and I've got the mic on. It should come out alright, and also the laptop should come out as well, and the video on the, no, I didn't use the mobile phone for the video. I just used the call from Cecile. Called me up, and that was good that she called me at the right time, 8:30 or thereabouts, and we had our talk, and I like confidence in what she's saying, and make it come into life. I'm impatient because I want to get on with things. The business, like Chinese, get on with it, and must. Don't stand around waiting. We're not waiting. We're going to move and start doing something. Okay, so if Cecile goes at her pace, I'm going at my pace, and time is of the essence. Okay, so there. I'm going to turn off now. Turn the desktop off, and thank you very much, people, for watching or listening to see how I'm got on my brain. I can let go and then fill it up with new stuff, and with the laptop, switch that off too. So see you later. Bye. Have a nice day. That's that one gone off, and now the laptop. Turn that off. And switch that off there. See you later. Bye.